Come with me as we go game hunting. So I started off looking in the Wii section of this video game store. Wasn't really looking for anything in particular. Just specifically pulling out any games that looked interesting to me or that were on my list. So I ended up finding a few, which I'll show you in a little bit. But most of the games were just very common titles. Again, nothing that really stood out. Usually I'll pull out games that I've never heard of. Sometimes I might grab them if they're not too expensive. Or of course if I want to play them. But yeah, they had a ton of Wii games. So there was definitely no shortage. I was a huge Goosebumps fan, so I wanted to see what that game was about. And then I was curious about this Grease game as well. But I didn't end up picking up either of them. So then I moved on to the second shelf. It's pretty overwhelming, there were a lot, but again, mostly common titles. Nothing that was really on my collection list. They did have Super Mario Galaxy 2, which is a popular game, but I already have it in the collection. But then I did find Wario Land Shake It, and that is one game that is on my list, so I did pick that up along with Kirby Return to Dreamland. So those were two good finds. Then I looked at some Xbox 360 games, kind of like this BioShock limited edition case. I also took a look at Borderlands. Actually never played it before. Let me know if you ever have, if it's good. But again, a lot of common titles. I also looked at Oblivion. It's been on my list for a really long time. I should have picked it up, but I kind of put it back and forgot about it. So I think I will next time. I'm a huge Skyrim fan, so I've wanted to play Oblivion for years now. Then there were a ton of PS2 games. Again, kind of overwhelming, so I just took my time to look through, to see if there was anything. Didn't find anything though. Same with Switch, I kind of just quickly looked. I wasn't looking for anything in particular today. I do have a lot of Switch games on my list, but today I wasn't looking for any, so. There were also a lot of cute plushies, so I stopped by that area to look at a few. Love the Zelda pillow. Now these games, I actually don't even know what they're for, so let me know if you know. I just browsed through them for a little bit, but I have no clue what console they're for. Lots of SNES games. Nothing was there on my list. They do have a lot of more popular games behind their counter in the glass cases, but again, nothing that I was too interested in. So kind of just browsed. Also a lot of Genesis games. I'm currently not collecting for Genesis, but again, I always like to look and just see what's available. Now PS1, I actually was looking for the first Crash Bandicoot game. Ripto's Rage, I should have picked up, but I didn't. It was one of my favorites growing up. So yeah, I was looking for Crash, really hoping that they had it. I lost my copy from childhood, and it really kills me to this day. So I wanted to replace it. They did have it, and it's one of the games I picked up. It was in perfect condition. So yeah, I was really happy to find that. I always like looking at the Atari games. So they had a few popular titles. I don't collect for Atari, but I think I might like to someday. I would definitely get that Star Wars game if I did. So yeah, lots of different games. I have never played any of them, so I'm not really familiar. But again, I would like to be a little bit more familiar in the future. I also like that the games came in these big boxes. I just think it's pretty cool. So yeah, I just enjoy looking through these. Let me know if you've ever played any of them. I'd be curious to know. I didn't grow up with an Atari, so again, I'm just not too familiar. So then after that, I looked at some of the loose Atari games. You can see they actually did have a lot. So there was a lot to look through. I think it's just fun to see the different titles. Now DS, so I am heavily collecting for DS at the moment. I did end up having a few games on my list. Picked up Mass Attack, and then I realized I already had it, so I had to actually end up returning it. But yeah, they did have a pretty good selection. And a lot of good Kirby games. And I love Kirby. So it's exciting to see that. I did look at this Spyro game, Dawn of Dragon. I had never heard of it. And like I said, I was a Spyro fan growing up. But I decided not to pick it up today. So again, with so many different titles, kind of just look at any that stand out to me. And I wasn't just looking for things on my list, but just again, anything that seemed a little unusual or that I might want to play someday. I'd never heard of that Titanic game, so I was looking at it for a little bit. Master of Disguise was on my collecting list, so I did decide to pick it up. So that was a good find. Now Spyro, Shadow Legends, and then Crash of the Titans, 2 games I had never heard of. So I was just looking at them, but decided not to get either of them. Same with this Crash game. I had never heard of it. PS4, there were so many games. Again, just picking up some titles that were interesting to me. There's nothing specifically I was trying to get though for PS4. So just looking at some games I had heard of or games I thought I might be interested in. But yeah, as you can see, a pretty good collection. So just browsing through the titles. Most of these games, Ni no Kuni 2, I did look at for a second. It actually got pretty bad reviews, so I didn't pick it up. But I love the first Ni no Kuni game. I definitely recommend it. Cyberpunk has been on my list for a really long time. Still have not played it. And same with Ghost of Tsushima. And Deathloop is also on my list, so we'll have to pick that up eventually. I have so many games to play right now, so I kind of just passed on all of those. Then with Xbox One, I looked at Resident Evil Village. I still have not played it. So, Let me know again if you recommend that one. May have to play it soon, especially during this season. Then I was just kind of looking at some random stuff in the store. Kiki's delivery service water bottle, and then some Animal Crossing puzzles, which I thought were cool. Now on the shelves, they had some Game Boys and box. Nothing I was interested in though. It's always cool to see everything they have though. And just all the different things that stand out from my own collection. They had a Super Scope, and then some pretty expensive games. Then they also had a Virtual Boy, which was so expensive, $600. I actually never had a Virtual Boy growing up, but I wish I did. It's worth a lot. They also had a Sega Saturn as well. And then a bunch of other things again I really like looking up close to see all the different games, the prices. Some things are so expensive these days. So there's no way I could purchase most of these things. Prices are just unbelievable. But it really is cool to take a look. And they were pretty stocked, as you can see. These were some Jaguar games, which I don't collect for. And then I just like looking at some of the anime stuff. I'm a pretty big anime fan, so. The only thing I'll mention about this Pokemon box game is it's $2,200. So I will not be purchasing that, but there weren't that many copies of that game made, so it's very, very expensive. As I checked out the Intellivision section, this is a console I'd like to collect for eventually. I think they had a pretty good collection, but I am not familiar with any of these games. So if you had an Intellivision, let me know if any of these games stand out to you. But yeah, I was not familiar with them. I still like looking though and kind of seeing the graphics on the back, and I don't know, I just think it's really cool to see some of the first consoles that became popular. Then I love this Blockbuster cleaning kit I came across. I should have bought it, but I didn't. Some Pokemon games, and then more DS games, PSP games. I do want to start collecting for PSP, but I did not find one in the store today. I didn't grab any PS5 games today, but Potion Permit is one on my list. So I thought these little mint candies were cute. So at the end of the day, I ended up getting Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, Donkey Konga, it's both of those for GameCube, Beyond Good and Evil for GameCube, Wario Land Shake It, Kirby's Return to Dreamland, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, Wario Master of Disguise. Some of those games you didn't actually see me find in the store because I unfortunately realized I wasn't filming the entire time, so I'll have to make sure I do that next time. But anyways, this was a great day, great pickups, and I was very happy with it. So this is the first video of this type I did. Let me know if you want to see more. Pretty much doing this almost every weekend, so I would definitely have more content to film. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you want another video like this. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. In today's video, I am game hunting again. So today I was specifically looking for some new GameCube games that I had heard were traded into this shop. So I was excited to see them in person, but first I just stopped to see some Star Wars figures that I love so much, so I always enjoy checking them out. They also had a wide variety of other action figures, so I always enjoy taking a look at them. They just started selling Pokemon cards as well, so I did just take a quick look and see what was available. Then I went over to the Super Nintendo section. Again, wasn't really looking for anything in particular. They actually had a pretty good selection, so I did check out every single game, make sure there was nothing I wanted to purchase. I also looked at the NES games, but not really looking to build that collection at the moment, so just kind of quickly looked at them. But they also had a good collection of NES games as well. So first up, I took a look at Kirby Air Ride. It's been on my game hunting list for GameCube for quite a while. So I just made sure the manual was in good condition. And then also had the disc cleaned. And then Wave Race is just something from childhood I remember, so I wanted to, again, just double check the manual and then had the disc cleaned as well. But the discs were actually in really good condition. It's just nice that the owner of the store cleans all of the discs before purchasing. So again, took some time to look through the NES games. Here's kind of another look at what they had. I like that they keep mostly everything behind the glass case so it stays nice and clean. Doesn't get too dusty. And they keep a lot of games in the glass cases, not just the most popular ones, so I like that. Then I went over and looked at the Japanese case. I don't collect any games that are in Japanese, but I do think it's pretty cool, so I may start doing that eventually. We'll see. So then I checked out Wario World, another game that's been on my list for quite a while for GameCube. So the case looked good, manual looked good, disc looked good, so I knew I would be picking it up today. Then again, just look through some more. You can see they did have a lot of GameCube games behind the desk, so full shelves of really good games, Wii games, Sega games. They were fully stocked today. And of course a bunch of Switch games as well. So it's always nice to see a lot of the heavy hitter games. I know they will sell fast, so that is why I came to this shop as soon as I heard they had a big trade-in. So I also went to the more valuable case. You'll see Go-Go Hypergrind in there, which is so expensive. One of the most expensive GameCube games. Actually, it didn't even have the manual, and it was so expensive. So it's pretty crazy. I don't think I'll ever collect it. It's just too much money. was also looking at the game guides, of course. I do semi-collect them, at least for some of my favorite games. I actually just recently watched all the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings movies, so I was just looking at that for a moment. I never played any of the games, but I was just curious to see what the graphics were like. And maybe someday I will play one of them. But yeah, I do enjoy looking through the gaming guides, magazines, things like that. They do usually get a pretty good amount of these in every week, so I always like to see what the new ones are. So then I was checking out this guide for A Link Between Worlds. It was so nice. Really a heavy book, and I might grab one of those someday. I know the Zelda ones are typically really well done. So there were none that really stood out today to actually purchase, but still just like looking through them. Let me know if you do enjoy me reading manuals, looking through them. I might post some more on my other channel. So speaking of channels, Pokemon channel, it's just another fun game I wanted to pick up. So I took a look at it. And then at Pokemon Coliseum, I decided to pass on this one. It's a super expensive game and I do want to pick it up eventually, but it just wasn't in my budget for the day. Donkey Konga 2, I did decide to grab though. Again, another one on my list. So then I went back and just checked out this case again. Just wanted to see what was on the bottom level. And then on the opposite side of the store, they do keep all of the kind of more common games displayed, so these ones aren't behind a glass case. So I was looking at some of the Super Nintendo games, Nintendo 64, NES, just seeing if there was anything I wanted to grab. Sometimes they have really good sales on these games, so I always like to double check. But nothing was standing out to me today. So then I moved right along, was looking at some of the common Wii titles. Again, nothing specific standing out to me today. Same with PlayStation. They always have a ton of PlayStation games. So there really is a lot to look through. Yeah, so they had that promotion, $5 each, buy 3, get 1 free. Which is pretty good if you're trying to build a little collection or buy for your kids. So I think that is really nice. I did quickly look at the PSP games too because I want to start collecting for PSP. I just haven't started yet. I need to actually get a PSP first. So I was kind of getting ahead of myself. They always have some cute little toys displayed too, so just looking at one of my favorite characters from growing up in the 90s. But yeah, there's always so many things to look at. It's really easy to get overwhelmed, so I always try to go into a game store with sort of a plan if I can, so I don't get overwhelmed and just buy random stuff. So again, the GameCube games were the purpose today, but still enjoy walking around. As you can see, they also started selling a lot of toys, which I think is cool, considering it's not really easy to find toy stores these days. So I always love when I see kids looking at this stuff and thinking it's really cool, especially the Star Wars stuff. I'm a big Star Wars fan, at least of the original movies, so just like checking that stuff out. So again, just made sure these were the games I wanted to go with. They did have so many more games that were traded in, but again, try to stick to a budget. And then that was it. I went home for the day. So again, I got Wave Race, just a silly one on my list. Let me know if you played this game growing up, or let me know if you played any of these games growing up. Also, let me know if you have a specific GameCube game that you're trying to find right now. It's so hard to find GameCube games that are complete and good condition and not tons and tons of money, so it's a challenge. Wario World again, another one on my list. And yeah, I always just like to make sure the case is in top condition, the manual's in top condition. I always say if you're going to invest your money and buy some of these games, just making sure they're in the top condition is so important. Especially since I'll be playing these games now and hopefully for many years to come. So I hope they can last as long as possible. And yeah, Pokemon channel. Again, when I get home, I do just double check everything. They do have a nice return policy. And when I'm shopping, again, there's always so many people in the store. Sometimes I can't really focus on what I'm doing, so I get home, double check, make sure everything is exactly how I want it to be for the collection. Obviously, typically the cases are a little bit dirty, so when you see me cleaning them on my other channel, it typically really is the real thing. I am cleaning either new games or games that are dusty on my shelf, so it's kind of like a constant thing I do for my collection. Kirby's Air Ride, I'm so excited to play. I remember playing it so long ago, and I just love Kirby games. So I was really excited to pick this one up. And yeah, I was happy that all the manuals were in good condition. No big tears in the pages or anything like that. And then yeah, the last game was Donkey Konga 2. Just made sure, again, it looked perfect. Made sure the disc was nice and clean and perfect. And then got ready to organize and put these new games on my GameCube shelf, which I am kind of running out of room, so I need to figure out a plan for the future, how I'm going to organize things, but it does get me excited to just know the collection is growing and just more games, more fun. So thanks for coming along with me today. Actually wasn't planning on filming this trip, so Sorry if the content wasn't that exciting, but trying to capture every game hunting trip I take. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you want more of these videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Come with me as I shop at 2 GameStop locations in my area. So these 2 locations are now retro GameStop locations. So that means they should have some retro games, but I'm curious to see if they actually do. So I didn't come with a specific list of games I was looking for. I don't typically purchase too many games from GameStop, but I was excited to see what I could find. So it's funny, this game I've actually heard really good things about. I did question picking it up since it was around Halloween time when I was shopping, but decided I would hold off for a little while. So they actually had a lot of Xbox One games. I was impressed with the selection. Usually the GameStops in my area pretty much don't have much at all. So Crash Bandicoot, It's About Time is something that is on my list. I love Crash Bandicoot. It's a very nostalgic character and game series for me, so pick it up eventually. So also looking at this Turtles game, which I may also pick up eventually. I'm also a big Turtles fan from my childhood. Then I was just looking at some games that will be coming out in the future. This Dragon Quest game, some other stuff. I thought this backpack was actually really cool. I would love to have that if I was in school. And some more games that will be coming out. Just taking a look. I haven't really been paying attention to new releases, so it's always good to see them. A lot of PS4 games. Again, I was pretty impressed that there was a good amount of games at the store. Took a look at Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. And then again, just kind of browsing a lot of PS5 games. There are definitely still so many on my list, but I'm taking my time because I'm currently playing Red Dead 2, which is really overtaking my life, which is a good thing. It's amazing. So I really had no plans of picking up any PS5 games at the moment. But again, it's always good to see what's out. I thought I had heard something about this game, but I wasn't really sure, so just put it back. And then this game I know was a complete failure, but I may actually pick it up eventually just to have it in my collection. I know Silent Hill 2 is coming out, and I am looking forward to that as well. Lots of cute plushies, and then of course the Switch area, which I feel like it's usually the most stocked area in GameStops, in my area at least. Princess Peach Showtime is a game I still have to pick up for the collection. Just haven't gotten to it yet. And most of these games I'd already seen or played or just wasn't really interested in, but anything I see that I'm really not familiar with, I do like to check it out. Cozy Grove was a game I kind of wanted to play, but I haven't really been in the mood to play a cozy game, so Haven't picked it up yet. But yeah, lots of Switch titles. A lot of the common titles, of course. And then, again, a display of the future game releases. This one I'll definitely check out eventually. I don't know when that comes out. I have to look it up. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. And then one game I'm really excited for is this Rugrats game. I love Rugrats. Again, just something from childhood. Some of my favorite games were Rugrats games for PS1, so I will definitely play that for sure. Then I found some retro games. So here you'll see a DS game, which honestly I was surprised to see anything. So we'll go back to this in a moment, but again I was looking at a few other Switch games. And then at the Wii section, so this retro GameStop did have a little bit more than I expected. So some heavy hitter titles: Super Smash, Mario Galaxy, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Party 8, Epic Mickey, some random other titles, Super Paper Mario. So a pretty good collection of games. I didn't want to pick any of these up since I already had quite a few of them and then just wasn't interested in the others. But I was able to let my friends know that some of these games were available since they were looking for them. So that ended up working out. Then also some Wii U games, which again I was shocked. So I almost picked that one up, but I didn't. And then also Mario Tennis and another Super Mario game. Then I took a look at the Switch game. I had never heard of it, Bramble. So I wanted to make sure I researched it a bit when I went home. And then Final Fantasy collection game, which I'll definitely pick up eventually for the collection. Pikachu, or Detective Pikachu Returns. I don't have that one. I'm not sure if I want to play. Went back to the PS5 section. Again, just like to see what they have. I had never heard of that Sandland game. So I was just reading the back. And then kind of just double checking that nothing else was standing out as interesting. I actually did just order a copy of Deathloop, so I am looking forward to playing it eventually after Red Dead. So yeah, just again browsing a lot of titles. Honestly, I didn't even know were PS5 titles. Like I said, I haven't really been keeping up with new releases. Lies of P, one of my favorite games of all time. I definitely suggest that game. 100%. And then I just looked at Attack on Titan because I'm a huge fan of the anime, but I never played the game. Then I was shocked to see some PS Vita games. I didn't pick any up. I don't own a PS Vita, but again, thought it was really cool. This location also just had some random movies, Pokemon, decor, items, which I feel like GameStops more and more in my area are having less games and more random stuff like this. So hopefully we will start to see more retro games, because I think it is cool for people who are looking to collect those games. So yeah, I was just looking through some of this stuff. Some stuff was on sale, but nothing I was specifically interested in. But yeah, lots of random stuff. And I did think this mug was really cute. I almost bought it. Of course, the Zelda Christmas tree topper is also pretty cool. I'd love to have a video game themed tree someday. Alright, so now this is the second GameStop location. This location had a ton of retro games. Now remember, when I say retro, Xbox 360 is now retro, which is crazy to me. And again, that's Wii, GameCube, basically, can't remember how they define it, but basically anything I grew up with is retro now. So it was really cool to see such a good collection at the store. And I'll zoom out in a few minutes so you can see the full wall of games. They had Dead Space and a lot of other really good Xbox 360 titles. So anyone coming to this store trying to find these games was definitely in luck. There's nothing here I needed for Xbox 360, but again, just honestly happy to see this stuff. And I saw a lot of younger kids looking through these games, and I just thought it was cool again to see that there is an interest in them. So then some PlayStation games, PS3 specifically, a lot of random things. I don't have a PS3 right now, so not collecting for it at the moment. Just looking through some of the games. And then, after that, I was thrilled to see more Wii games. So here's a Rayman game. You can see SpongeBob, Wii Fit, of course. Paper Mario, Color Splash. Surprised to see that. Yoshi's Woolly World, Just Dance, Hot Wheels, Star Wars. I actually love Yoshi's Woolly World. And yeah, Wii U games again, so that was pretty cool. And then I was shocked to see Tales of Symphonia for GameCube. Again, just surprised to see a GameCube game at all in a GameStop. I already had it, so I didn't need it, but that's an awesome find for someone else. Then some more heavy hitter titles. Skyward Sword for Wii. That was pretty cool to see. And then Twilight Princess was right next to it. And a pretty good amount of other titles. So I was just looking through and seeing what I could find. A few 3DS games. And then Pokemon Ultra Sun, which I do not have, and it is on my list, but I decided against purchasing from this location. I decided I was going to hold out and buy from my local game store, but shocked to see it. And there's the full wall. So it was pretty cool to see that. Here are just a few other good games that somebody will hopefully pick up. Then I went and looked at the PlayStation area again. This was a very well stocked store. A lot of popular games. Again, I wasn't really looking for anything in particular. Astrobot, I do know I need to pick up soon. Again, that's on my list after I finish Red Dead. I've heard so many good things about it, and from many of you as well. Then I was looking at Resident Evil Revelations for a moment because I actually never heard of it, but decided not to pick it up. So yeah, so many games. And like I said, I was pretty impressed with this location too. But nothing in particular was standing out to me. I may pick up this Jurassic Park game eventually. I did enjoy playing the original Jurassic Park games, so it kind of would be cool to have them on one disc for PS5. And then I picked up this game for a moment only because I had never heard of it. So I always take notes of games that I might be interested in my phone and then go home and kind of do some research. And I was looking at this Harvest Moon game as well. Then I was looking at Disney Dreamlight Valley. I actually played for maybe 20 hours and then I gave up. I just kind of got bored. But it is a cute game. Then lastly, I looked at the Pokemon section. There were a lot of cards. Not everything was organized perfectly, but I was impressed with the section. So I didn't end up buying anything on this trip, but not every trip is about buying something. I was just happy to see some retro games, and there are a few other locations in my area, so let me know if you want me to visit them. Thanks so much for watching.